Hello GT5 fans, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. I'm VR Stuntman, and I'm bringing you round 4 of the GT300 League at vrroom.org. And we've got a good grid for this one, and I'll run you through it. I apologise, I'm not very good on the old mushroom, so this could be a bit jerky. Those of a weak stomach might want to look away. Right, this is the ART Garaya of Scalebreaker on his traditional pole position. We've got Jordan second. He switched to the Amemiya RX-7. Third on the grid, Stuntman in a MRS. Then we've got another RX-7. This is Melada, new to the championship. Welcome to Melada. Fifth, good qualifying there by Rick in the Celica. Sixth is the RX-7, and that would be Rayman. And then we've got Hatcher in the second Arta Garaya, Autobax Garaya. Then next up is Slicker, then Turner in the second MRS, and a Subaru. Nice to see someone racing a Subaru. That's Danny. And bringing up the rear in yet another RX-7 is Scouser. Right, so let's get on with the action. Right, this is on board with Poleman Breaker, and it's a good start for Breaker. Good start also from Stuntman up to second with the quick in a straight line MRS, and Stuntman is going for it as they go into turn one. Needs a lot of discipline to get through here without making contact, and it's a really good job by everybody. Now through the Mercedes arena, and it's still Breaker from Stunt and Jordan. Fourth Rick, fifth Ray, sixth is Hatcher, seventh Turner, and Melada down in eighth. What's happened to him? So what I'm going to do is swap to him, and we'll go back to the start and see where it all went wrong for him. So here we are, fourth on the grid. Excellent qualifying from Melada. He's obviously a very useful driver to come straight into these cars and stick it so high up the grid. But it's a poor start. That's Rick going past on the left and Rayman on the right. So straight down to 6th, 7th now, because that's Hatcher going around the outside. So we've lost 3 places, and still we're not on the ideal line through the Mercedes arena. And leaving room on the left, that means there's someone there. Yes, there is. That's Turner on the left, and we're still not on the ideal line, because there goes Turner. He had the advantage of the slipstream as well as a slightly quicker car in a straight line. Oh, and a spinner up ahead. That's Hatcher gone off. Hatcher in the Amemiya. No, not the Amemiya. It's Autobax Garaya. And Hatcher drops all the way down to last. So we're riding now still riding with Melada. Turner is ahead of us in the MRS. Now the MRS is quick on the straight, but we've got a great slipstream here. Turner goes defensive, Melada on the outside. Up ahead you can see Rick and Rayman battling for 4th place. And Turner a bit deep. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. Racing incident, I would say. I don't think there's any damage done, but Turner has had a big moment and dropped down to 10th. So we're going to ride on board now with Jordan. Go to the outside view. Jordan in 3rd, getting a good draft as they start lap 2. And oh, that's very sideways for Stuntman. He just misses the back of Jordan's car. So Jordan up a place into 2nd. Stuntman using too much power too soon, or too aggressive with the throttle, and lighting up the rear tyres and nearly spinning, and he's doing it again in the background there. But Jordan is nicely placed as they come out of the Mercedes arena, and they're running down to RTL, which is the hairpin on the short track here at Nürburgring. And Jordan nicely placed in the slipstream through Kumo, and the all-important bit curve coming up. Oh, and a big sideways moment for Jordan. He put 2 wheels on the grass in the braking zone, and Here comes Stuntman with more speed out the corner and a bit of a slipstream, and Jordan drops back to 3rd place. So it's all gone horribly wrong for Jordan. Oh, and he's winked out of existence. Oh dear, that's all gone a bit nasty there for Jordan. Disconnection. He does happen to him occasionally, and a shame to drop out so early. Oh, Hatcher spins in the second Goliath. Second spin for him. He does tend to do that a little bit. He's a quick driver, but does make the odd mistake. I don't know if it's setup issues with that car. Right, we're going to go on board now with Slicker. Now Slicker is in 7th place, right in the pack. He's got Danny in the Subaru ahead, and Scouser in another RX-7 behind. Oh, and Slicker's going for it, trying to put the pass on Danny. So through the Mercedes arena, and now Scouser is on the attack. Lovely looking and sounding cars, these RX-7s. Real shriek and a wail from them. So in this race we've got Scalebreaker in the lead. Ooh, we'll have a look at that in a second, I think. So this is Scalebreaker. Has led every yard so far. Stuntman right behind him in the slipstream. 3rd is Rayman, who's got ahead of Rick. So Rayman 3rd, then Rick is 4th. Malada 5th has broken away from the pack. But this is the pack, and it's Danny and Slicker and Scouser. And Turner's in there as well. Pack of 4 cars squabbling for 6th place. So coming through to start lap 4. Race leaders already on lap 4. Now the RX-7 isn't a particularly fast car on the straight, but it is faster than the Subaru. And here comes Slicker down onto the brakes. Oh, and he chucks one up the inside of Danny, but wasn't really a gap there. And Slicker backs out of it. Holds his position, and Danny hangs on to that 6th. So we've got front right damage for Slicker. Danny has rear left damage in this Subaru, and that can be tricky. It can cause a bit of oversteer, and makes the car harder to drive, I think, with rear damage than front damage. Going to go on board now with Stuntman. He's desperately trying to hang on to the slipstream of Breaker. There's no way you can live with Breaker on sheer pace, but getting that slipstream round the lap is definitely helping, and he's staying with Breaker, and that's pulling him well clear of the battle for 3rd place. Let's go to that. This is Rick in 4th. He's trying to chase down Rayman, but Rayman is definitely getting away there and catching them. In the background you can see the yellow RX-7 of Malada. So starting lap 5, we're going to go on board now with Turner, and Turner has just passed Slicker. Excuse me. So it's a passing move again. Turner just passed Slicker, but Slicker back in front. Turner perhaps a bit deep into the last corner, and we've lost someone. We've lost Hatcher off the back, and I think he had a spin in Coca-Cola and has decided 3 spins in 4 laps. He's given up. So. He's quit the race. We're down to just 9 cars then. Still Scalebreaker from Stuntman, Rayman 3rd, Rick 4th, then Malada, then Danny, Scouser, and then this battle between Rick and Turner. I'm going to go on board with the Scouser battle. Let's ride it on the roof cam. He's got a great run here on Danny. Danny doesn't defend. Scouser that much quicker on the straight. He just goes straight past and breaks into Vidal chicane. Oh, bit of a tap on the rear, and Scouser. No, he hasn't made the move stick, because Danny is right there. Oh, he is. Yeah, he has made the move stick. But can Danny use the slipstream? The Subaru's not fast, but there's a good long straight here and a good toe. And Danny now has the front left damage as well as rear left. So that car is going to be a bit of a handful. He's doing a good job here of keeping the Subaru ahead of some RX-7s. So we're back on board with Scouser, chasing Danny, and behind us Slicker is starting to ease away from Turner and catch up with this battle, which is still for 6th place. And here comes Scouser on the inside, has a think about it, and Danny turning the car nicely there, just drifting into the corner, getting the car rotated. It's a quick way of driving. Now I'm going to go on board with Slicker, because he has caught the back of this group. So Slicker now chasing hard to get back up to that battle for 6th place. And you can see ahead of us there's another attack from Scouser into the Vidal chicane. Whoa, Slicker very late on the brakes. Oh, we did well there. So Slicker right now in this mix. Slicker running with a little bit of damage, but then so's everybody in this little group. So 6 laps gone, we're on lap 7. We're going to stay on board this. So plunging down into turn 1, we can see the cars ahead, defensive. That's going to give Slicker a good run, is it? No, not quite. Now into turn 2 through the Mercedes arena. And 3, and Danny is doing a great job in that Subaru. The Subaru really, I don't think is as good as the RX-7. The RX-7 is a beautiful handling car. The Subaru doesn't seem quite as good through the turns, and it's even worse than the RX-7 on the straight. Ooh, a little wobble there for Scouser. That's given Slicker a chance. But he's on the wrong side of the road as they come into Kumo. Can't run around the outside. Oh, and on the grass, that's exactly what Jordan did on lap 2 in the same car. And that's cost Slicker, so we're going to go back on board with Scouser now. He's now lost that pressure from behind. And he's going to make another attempt into the Vidal chicane. Danny using an awful lot of curb through there. And no way through for Scouser. We'll stay on board with this. Now Slicker hasn't dropped that far behind these two, and he is quicker, so he might well get back into this battle. And here comes Scouser. Oh, didn't know which side to go as Danny defends. You heard him come off the throttle slightly. And still Danny holds on to that 6th place. Up ahead of us, let's have a quick look at Malada. Now he's catching Rick, and Rick is getting a little closer to Rayman. Ahead of that, this is Stuntman. Now Stuntman has lost the toe from Scalebreaker and is starting to fall back, but he's well clear of 3rd place. So Stuntman should stay 2nd from there. Breaker, can't see anyone beating him. Let's go back on board with Scouser, and he's in a very good position as they come through the critical bit curve. Oh, great run out of bit. Job done surely. Oh no, he taps the back of Danny, and that loses him all his extra speed. He's going for it anyway on the inside into the Vidal chicane. Let's go to the outside view. Side by side into Vidal, and Scouser got ahead, but Danny attacking straight back again. Danny will not be beaten in this little battle. He's still 6th. They're side by side all the way through Coca-Cola, and it's gonna be Scouser, I think, because his car is just that little bit quicker on the straight. Scouser just ahead, but he's not so far ahead. He can cut off Danny, and Danny braking later as they go into turn 1 once again, and great racing from these two. So we've had 8 laps completed. We're on lap 9. I'm just going to stay with this a little longer. I've noticed up ahead though that Rick is getting closer and closer to Rayman in that battle for 3rd and the last place on the podium, but it's not as close as this. And here comes Scouser again. I tell you, it's really good racing between these two, giving each other room, giving each other respect, and they're both reaping the benefits by having a great race. And I've noticed Slicker. Here is Slicker. He's down to the last. He's down to 9th. He's obviously made a mistake somewhere. No, I missed that, but he's made a mistake and he's dropped behind Turner. So Slicker seems to be having a race of 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But there's action going on. Here comes it's Danny and Scouser again into Vidal chicane, and side by side. Oh, and a little bit of contact, and it's Scouser who comes out ahead. So Scouser up to that 6th place. Now we're riding on board with Danny. Have a little look at that Subaru. It's not a car you see very often in GT300 races. Nice looking car though, I think, in that black and red livery. I'm going to go on board now with Rick, because Rick is right on the tail of Rayman. He's been closing him down. So this is the roof cam, and Rick's got a great run on Rayman here. So this should be Rick up to 3rd place. He's on the inside as they come down to the hairpin. Oh, and Rick earlier on the brakes, and that allows Rayman to turn in ahead. So Rayman hangs on to that 3rd place. I really thought he'd lost it there. So great driving from Rayman. And Rick in the slipstream, but too far back, I think, to get the toe and get the pass done. He gets the toe, but oh, Rayman a little deep. Now here comes Rick. Can he slot one up the inside into Coca-Cola? Rayman gives him room, and Rick is through. Let's go on board with Rayman, running around the outside of Rick. And great racing from those two. They ran all the way through that last corner side by side. We'll go on board now with Milada, because he might get a view of this. And here comes Rick on the inside up ahead. But no, doesn't make it stick. So we'll go back on board with Rick. Now I don't think he's had a podium, Rick, with these GT300s, but then neither is Rayman. Rayman just joining the room for this week. Oh no, he isn't. No, he was in the races last week. Beg your pardon. Rayman just didn't finish any of them. So it's so Rayman is on for a podium if he can just hold these guys off for a bit longer. It's not long to go. Oh, it's still kicking off behind. Here comes Danny on Scouser. Danny trying to get that 6th place back again and into the hairpin, and he's done it. So Scouse back down to 7th. Now through Kumo. These two have dropped a long way back from the 3rd, 4th, 5th place battle, but that's because they're battling so hard. Now here comes here comes Scouser again, and again he runs into the back of Danny. Oh, and a spin! He was squeezed. Oh, well held there, Scouser, and that's given Turner the run. This is on board with Turner, and dirty tyres for Scouser. So Turner attacking Scouser, and they go into the final curve with just 1 lap to go. Oh, and that's Turner. He's just disconnected. So we're back on board with Scalebreaker. We don't need to see that. Scalebreaker way ahead now. We're going to go on board with Rick. He's just dropped off the tail of Rayman, and if we look behind him, we can see the closing RX-7 of Malada. And Malada's been gradually reeling Rick and Rayman in over the last few laps, and he's now in the slipstream, but not really close enough, I would say, at this stage to make a run into it. So what we're going to do is ride on board with Scalebreaker when the screen changes. Here he is into the last corner. Whoa, big sideways drift through the last corner. That's Scalebreaker showing off, I think. And so it's a win for Scalebreaker. Second, here he comes out the last corner, is Stuntman. Then this is the battle for third, fourth and fifth. It's Rayman just ahead of Rick and Malada, and it looks like it's going to finish that way. Great race by those three. Then behind them in sixth place here is Danny. He's clear now of the others after moments for Scouser and Slicker. So that's Danny across the line, sixth. Here comes Scouser, seventh. And out of the last corner, it's Slicker in 8th place. Whoops! Ooh, I don't know how that stayed off the wall. Anyway, we'll have a look at the live timing. And so, if I just swing the camera slightly for you, you should be able to see the best lap. So, fastest lap, as you'd expect, was Breaker, 31.4. Next was Stuntman, 31.9. Third fastest was Malada in his charge back, 32.3 on the last lap. Then 32s for Rick and Rayman, 33s for Slicker, Danny and Scouser. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed that race. It was a pretty good one, and I'll be bringing you races, or heats 5 and 6 from this room later in the week. I've been VR Stuntman. Thank you ever so much for tuning in to me, and hopefully catch you soon.